Welcome back to the fourth in the series of domestic violence strategy sessions. And what does that have to do with me? This fourth one is what we call the number $9.3 billion. Well, how does that impact me? How many of you would want $9.3 billion? That's a big number. Did you know that that's the number that we here in America spend every year on domestic violence? Not in prevention, but in what is happening through work. 79% of people who are in domestic violence miss work. 87% of workers, they deal with harassing phone calls while they're working. 78% of workers, they're late because they're being held up, because of these arguments that continue, because of anything that domestic violence is just trying to always have that control and hold on to. 77% of workers, they are kept awake all through the night because of fighting, because of trying to keep people alive, whatever it is. So you have an exhausted workforce that's coming in late, that are being harassed at work, and these are starting to cause problems. Over 39% of workers, they're not able to find the childcare. For example, they had made arrangements that so-and-so would drop them off to daycare. Well, because of the fight or because of what happened, they're not going to. So now they've left the person scrambling to try and find who will drop off, who will pick up, who will take care of. And again, that causes the lateness. This is kind of an interesting statistic, and I find it super petty. 34% of workers are late to work because they couldn't find their car keys. Why? Because the other partner had hidden the car keys. Ugh, those things drive me crazy. All right. Who's agitated? I know I am. I am highly agitated because the impact of domestic violence, what it does that costs Americans annually, is $9.3 billion. That's astronomical. And you think, well, that's just big overall. I work in a company with maybe 100 people, and let me guess, maybe we'll say 75% of them are female, and maybe the average, like if you averaged everybody's paychecks and what they got paid hourly is maybe $15 an hour. So if you just looked at that scenario, if you have 100 people and 75% of them happen to be women, and the average wage earner is $15, guess how much money that company loses every year? $33,513. 19,000, almost 19,000, that's spent on medical costs for the emergency room repairs, for all of the things that happen. $8,247 are for mental health costs, counseling, any type of thing that you're going to be doing, like with PTSD, trauma. $5,880 were for lost wages. They weren't able to show up to work, they were late, they got docked pay. That totals up to that $33,513 for just one company. So you can see how quickly things start to really stack up and add up. This $9.3 billion, it impacts you. If you just think about the medical costs and what insurance is, and if lots of people are making claims and going to the hospital and doing all of these things, well, your premiums start to increase. So it does impact you. Don't ever think that you're in this perfect little bubble because you don't know someone directly. No, it is impacting you. That's the point of what these vlogs are for, is to make the awareness of it. It's not a one-time issue. Yay, I rallied one time. It is different. This is impacting you for life. So that is the fourth in the series, the $9.3 billion that impacts me. And I will see you soon with the fifth of this blog series.